EV training is one of the most important things in competitive Pokemon, as it can make or break whether you survive an attack or go before your opponent. Firstly, let's go over what is EV. EV stands for effort points and can come through different methods of training your Pokemon. First, if you head into your Pokemon summary, then head over here to the tab where you can see the stats and you press L, then you can see how much EV has been invested into your Pokemon. A total of 508 EV points can be invested into your Pokemon, and the EV color will turn light blue, as you can see here in my Darkrai, when your Pokemon cannot get any more EV training. And it'll be yellow, as you can see here in the Stellar Bird, when it's still able to get some EVs invested into it. You can only max out 252 EV points per stat, which means you can max out only 2 stats per Pokemon. You can see whether your Pokemon is max HP, for example, just by looking at the stars around the name of the stat you're looking for, like looking at my Darkrai here, which is maxed out in special attack and HP. Even if you have, then you're still in luck, because if you have the DLC for Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, there's a new item which got revealed. The item which got revealed is the Fresh Start Mochi. The Fresh Start Mochi can be obtained by doing the Ogre Austin, and it will reset all of the EVs so you can start from scratch. This essentially means that if you have a Pokemon you use through your playthrough, just like you started like I did here with my Skeledirge, and you can see the EVs all over the place, you can just use the Fresh Start Mochi and reset all of his EV stats. Another tip before you begin is to save your game so that if you screw up, you can reset your game and you haven't lost money or screwed up your Pokemon. Method number 1. Vitamins. While vitamins is the EV training which is the easiest one to do and the one who takes the least time, it is also the most expensive method. Since there are 6 different stats you can invest EV into, there are 6 different vitamins you can buy as well. The vitamins are as follows: HP Up, which grants 10 EVs for HP, Protein, which grants 10 EVs for attack, Iron grants 10 EVs for defense, Carbos, which grants 10 EVs for speed, Zinc, which grants 10 EVs for special defense, and Calcium, which grants 10 EVs for special attack. You can buy vitamins at the Chanchi Supplies, which is found all over the Paldea region. I prefer to just go to the one at the Academy though. Each one of these vitamins costs 10,000 Pokédollars or League Points to buy, so they're quite expensive. This means to max out on speed, for example, you would have to spend 260,000 Pokédollars, and since you can only invest 252 EVs into a Pokemon stat, and each vitamin grants 10 EV, you would need 26 vitamins to max out one stat. This means to max out a Pokemon fully, you would need 530,000 Pokédollars or League Points, so you can see if you have a full team of 6 Pokemons and all of them need to be maxed out, it's gonna add up. 3,180,000 Pokédollars to be exact. So yes, this method might be quick, but it certainly comes with a cost. Method 2. KOing Pokemons. The second method is to just knocking out Pokemon, which is why if you take a look at a Pokemon you've used through your playthrough, just like I showed my Skeledirge in the beginning of the video, you can see the EVs are randomly spread out. Every Pokemon yields between 1 to 3 EV points per KO or catch. You can check out on bulbagarden.net what certain Pokemon gives out per KO. And yes, I'll make sure to leave their website in the description down below. This means you'd have to KO between 84 Pokemon all the way up to 252 depending on how many EV each Pokemon yield. As you can see, this is less expensive by being completely free in fact, however it is very time consuming. Luckily there is a way easier and cheaper way for all of you guys. Method 3. Holding a certain item while KOing Pokemons. When I mean certain items, I mean the following. The Power Weight, which grant 8 EV points for HP per Pokemon caught or KO'd. Power Bracer, which grants EV points for attack per Pokemon caught or KO'd. Power Belt, which grants EV points for defense per Pokemon caught or KO'd. Power Anklet, which grants 8 EV points for speed per Pokemon caught or KO'd. Power Band, which grants 8 EV points for special defense per Pokemon caught or KO'd. Power Lens, which grants 8 EV points for special attack per Pokemon caught or KO'd. These items cost 10,000 Pokédollars or League Points and can be bought at deliberate stores around the Paldea region. The items do so that no matter what Pokemon you KO or catch, the Pokemon holding this item in your party is guaranteed to grant EVs for the respective stat the item is connected to. However, this still means that if you KO a Pikachu which yields 2 speed EV but is holding the Power Brace, you will gain the 2 EVs from the Pikachu in speed while also gaining 8 EVs from the Power Brace in attack. This means you can combine method 2 and 3 and take out a bunch of Shinx, Luxios or Luxray since they all yield respectively 1 to 3 attack EVs. And then by adding the Power Brace you will gain even more EVs. This might take longer than buying vitamins, but it certainly saves you money and doesn't limit you to your Poke Bank account. This also means that if you have multiple physical attackers you need to train, such as Urshifu and Iron Hands, at the same time you can double up and even train up to 6 Pokemon at a time, which can be quite beneficial. Usually I don't really count how many Pokemons I've KO'd, I just kind of go at it for a while and then I take a look how far into the process I am, and then I kind of just go from there. The bonus method. Doing jobs in Pokemon Sword and Shield. The fourth method is a bonus method which you are only able to do if you have Pokemon Sword and Shield. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, if you go to a PC in a Pokemon Center, you can enter something called Poke Jobs. You can input the Pokemon you want to EV train into a job, and you can put in how long you want the Pokemon to be at the job. If you put it in for a little while, which is the equivalent to 1 hour, it will grant you 4 EVs. If you put it in very short, you are looking at 2 hours and 8 EVs. Short, 3 hours, 12 EVs. Long is 4 hours and 16 EVs. Very long is 8 hours and 32 EVs. Half day is 12 hours and 48 EVs. And the longest one, which a whole day, is 24 hours where you will be granted 96 EVs. If you add the Power Brace to a Pokemon which you're planning on putting in the attack job, then you receive additional EV points. So as you can see, this method is relying a little bit on math and planning, so you know for how long to leave your Pokemon in a job for. So if you're Pokemon Sword and Shield and have completed the game and have a Pokemon, or Pokemons for the matter of fact, you want to EV train and they are compatible with the game, this is a very effortless and cheap method to EV train. Personally, I use this method a lot if I'm not in a rush to EV train a Pokemon. I hope this video was very helpful if you're new into the game of Pokemon, or maybe you just didn't know about one of these methods. Let me know down in the comment section below if I forgot anything or what you want me to explain next. Until next time, happy gaming!